Well, they do have learnt a lot, and World of Warcraft clearly has influenced Blizzard in many ways, and in many good ways, I believe, both in in-game applications and solutions, and well, how to build global and extensive servers. We're just hoping that there will be a good way of playing against your friends on different continents, and well, being able to chat and etc. But on the whole, I think those issues are probably easier to solve than it is to create a very good and solid game, and Blizzard has certainly managed to do so with StarCraft 2 from what I've seen and played with the beta. So I don't know, I am personally optimistic about all those problems, and I think the community can always provide ideas for solutions if not. So I just like to put out a glimmer of hope there in case anyone was slitting their wrists.
Yeah, I have huge faith in Blizzard. Like you said, they've already got the hard part out of the way, like making a kick-ass game. That StarCraft 2 is a really good game. They just need to, as far as the community aspect and the competitive aspect, which like that's what they need to work on to make it a nice flushed out game. And I mean, it's still in beta. The game's not even out for a couple of months. I mean, I still have faith. I mean, the game we're seeing now is not going to be the game that we see at release, and so I still have faith. I'm just hopefully at least given some suggestions of the community to Blizzard, and hopefully they listen and they kind of enact some of those suggestions.
I think they will. I hope they will. However, moving on to some other more direct questions, I feel that right now there is potential for growth in the commentator scene, not to mention competitive play, because as we said before, you and HD and perhaps one or two others are the big names out there, but in terms of other people commentating StarCraft 2 once it becomes available, do you think that there is enough room for people to do their own thing and sort of emulate what you've done and your success, but in their own different ways? Would you encourage that?
Well, the internet is a very large place, and it's not going to run out of space anytime soon. So as long as, YouTube is free, like I look at this as the YouTube era, where you can do pretty much whatever you want, and who cares? Like, people always ask me, well, should I get into commentating because, people are so popular, or should I do this, or should I do that? It's just like, just do it. Like, there's no downside to doing it. The only thing you're going to have happen is you're going to get people viewing your content. And, I mean, I see no reason for anyone to not try it if it's something they like to do. I will tell you that it is a lot of work. One video will take about 4 hours of work if you do the quality that me and HD do. And so it is a ton of work, and people can get really burned out on it. But if it's something you want to do, it's YouTube, man. YouTube is free. That's what it's there for. So go out and do it. Like, I definitely think there is a lot of room for people to come in and, start doing commentaries. So, I mean, I get asked probably, I would say 8 or 9 times a day of people asking me how to make commentaries. Unfortunately, I can't help them out individually because it's a really complicated process, and it took me a long time to learn. So, unfortunately, I don't have like a tell-all guide on how to do it. But, I mean, I encourage people. When I started, I didn't know anything. I didn't even know what program to use to record. So I just went to Google and started searching around and figuring out how to do it. And, I mean, this is where I'm at. So if I can do it, I'm just a pretty average guy. So I think that if it's a passion of yours and you are willing to invest the time, there's absolutely no reason not to. I will tell you that for the first 6 months, everyone will make fun of you. But that's just how the internet is. And you just got to look past that and keep going. And I'm surprised how many people drop out of doing stuff like this simply because of the criticism, because they're just straight up jerks on the internet, and you just gotta look past it, take the good feedback, and try and make a good product.
Yes, indeed. It's not entirely unsimilar to doing podcasts and interviews, but do you hear it from the man himself? But building on to that, I was talking to a European friend yesterday who's been part of the community for a long time, and he's now leading and administrating a StarCraft 2 professional team of very top players on the European scene. And of course the game is not released yet, so once that happens we'll see how it goes. But the idea is, of course, to land enough sponsorship to give players at least some basic form of salary, enough so that they can dedicate their skills to further esports and potentially maybe even make a living as pro gamers. That is a common dream these days. And we were talking about how to attract sponsorships and mass media attention, basically. Since you and HD clearly did quite a good job about that with IRIP, and we touched upon it earlier, what would be your sort of advice and perhaps sort of general words of wisdom when it comes to trying to establish something new on something that isn't quite there yet?
Well, as far as marketing goes, I'm not a very good marketing guy, so I don't know exactly what sponsors are looking for. But I can tell you that after our HDH tournament, and even like before, during, and after the HDH tournament, we have had tons of companies. I would say we've had at least 50 companies ask us about sponsoring our next tournament. And so there are companies out there who want to invest money into this, because basically what companies are looking at is, I'll try and break it down really quickly. For a round of 16 tournament, we had about 50 to 60 games. Each game will be between 1 and 4 parts, and each part is going to get about 100,000 views. And so a company is going to be looking at that, and they're going, wow, for a couple $1,000s or a little bit more, we can get millions of views on YouTube. That's like a steal. Like, where else can you get millions of views for only a couple of $1,000? And so it's at a point now where bigger companies are realizing that, and I think that basically if you're looking for sponsors for that, they should just show people like, well, here's the HDH tournament, this is how popular it was, and this is the results they got, just based on a couple of $1,000s. So imagine what we could have got if we had a $15,000 prize pool rather than a $4,000 prize pool. So, I mean, I definitely think it's going to get bigger and bigger. Like, if you guys just look at MLG, they have sponsorships from Dr. Pepper, Doritos, and Hot Pockets, all delicious stuff that I eat. And so I'm sure that exactly, man. And they're sponsoring esports. So I definitely think that bigger and bigger companies are going to start investing into this. And I think it's going to be huge. I hope it is. But if you're a company out there looking for a steal on marketing, I mean, you should get into StarCraft, man, because it is going to be huge. And like I said, our IRIP, they got tens of millions of views, and all they paid was a couple of $1,000s for it. So I don't know if it's tens of millions. It was getting pretty close to 10 million, though, just based on how many videos we had. And I think companies are going to see that and run with it. That's what I hope. And I think they'd be foolish not to, because that's such a good investment.
Yeah, well, we did crash that website pretty good. As in, everybody who watched the HGH Invitational. And by the way, go and Google.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, exactly. Me and HD have crashed 4 websites so far, and so that just shows the kind of traffic we can get. We basically got IRIP triple the traffic they've ever had before, and that company has been making that product for like 5 years or something. And so, I mean, it definitely gets results, and you're not going to get those kind of results. Oh, I can't think of many other ways, unless you're getting on TV or something. But TV is a lot more spendy than a couple $1,000s for millions of views. So it's definitely a good investment.
Yeah, I mean, StarCraft combined with YouTube, that's an untouched field. It's ready to be capitalized, whether you like that kind of thing or not. So I think these are exciting times, and for clever minds, cool solutions could be found. However, speaking of cool, you may mention the MLG Major League Gaming show, and I noticed something on your channel that you did an impromptu shoutcast there recently, and also if looking on your brand new designed channel, there's a blank link leading to a website. Is there something going on that you might be able to hint a little bit about?
Well, there is definitely a lot brewing in Husky land as well as HD land, and I don't know the exact details as far as MLG, but I will say that a lot of the higher-ups in the esports scene, I can't say exactly from where, but people that you know of, they have hinted to MLG doing StarCraft 2, and I posted Yeah, and they basically have said, well, I guess they did say in an interview they want to do StarCraft 2, and then during the live stream that I kind of plugged in one of my videos, they were talking about StarCraft 2. They were even playing StarCraft 2. And so I really think that MLG picking up StarCraft 2 is like one of the best things that could happen, because, I mean, I live in America. Most people know that. And in North America, where I'm from, MLG is like the gaming esports scene. Basically, they're the only thing that's really left, and they're more known for doing Halo and console games, but they've been branching into Blizzard games for quite a while. They've been doing I don't know if they ever did Warcraft 3, but I do know that they did World of Warcraft for a couple of years. So I'm pretty sure they're on great terms with Blizzard. So I would not be surprised to see StarCraft 2 at MLG. I really am looking forward to the official announcement of their first tour, if they are indeed going to do StarCraft 2.